Hi, it's Mercedes, and today we're going to talk a little bit about holiday shopping and Christmas and events and sales. So it's really interesting because usually December is not the best time for boutiques. I find that a lot of people get their shopping, their personal shopping, what they're going to be wearing for different occasions for the holidays, including Thanksgiving. They do it early in November. So usually December, people are out bargain shopping and looking for cheap prices for gifts and whatnot that the department stores might be offering. That is not our business. It's never been our business, and I've always advised my clients to never get into that battle of prices because it's always a race to the bottom and it's not profitable for anybody, not even the department stores, which now after years and years we're seeing it's all catching up to them. I feel that this year, because of the pandemic, a lot of consumers that are department store shoppers or chain shoppers or discount shoppers are going to avoid the malls and the strip malls and, the chains only because they're afraid. They don't feel secure. I know that we hear a lot about the daredevils that don't want to wear a mask and go out there and are protesting about that. But I think that the negative Nellies, the nervous Nellies, are the ones that are more quiet and reserved, and they only really are going out if they have to. And if we can create this environment that we spoke about last time that is fun and energetic and inspirational, you're going to find that customers that have never shopped in a boutique before coming to your store for the first time. So it's really important to capture them and to make sure, and this is really important, every person that is a big fan of your stores, please ask them to write you a Google review. And in this review, it is incredibly important that they mention the fact that they felt safe or even mention some of the protocols that you're taking in keeping your environment and your employees safe during this pandemic. We're finding, and a lot of research is telling us that people, they're not just Googling like brands and prices and how far a store is. They're actually Googling the importance of these protocols that you have put in place. So if we want to review some of the protocols, I do have that video, 15 tips on YouTube, but let's just talk about Christmas for right now. So having that ahead of time is really important. And another thing that I want you to think about, and I know that it's a little bit of a stretch for you to think about right now because we're going into a stage of decline, which always before an election year, you're going to see this slump in sales right after the election. And I'm going to give it another couple of weeks, probably around the 20th of November. That's when we're going to see this big surge of people shopping again, coming into the boutique environment. And this is where I really want you to take advantage. And one of the things that we have to get ready is to hire extra staff. And it's not just, a body in the store for, safety or whatever. It is really a person that can engage with people. And if you find that you're getting less traffic, that traffic is there to try to get all of their Christmas shopping done at one shot. So you might also consider bringing in product categories that you haven't in the past. Some gift items, hostess items. We're seeing a big trend towards plants and succulents, food items, tabletop, all of these things that maybe is not part of your normal buying habit. I feel that it's really important this year to consider them as add-ons and also as that full package kind of retail environment that you can present to your customers, especially the new ones that, really want this kind of attention and need this kind of attention from you. The other thing that I'm thinking about doing, or actually I've done, and you should consider doing it, is having a 3D tour of your store. So if you go to my Instagram or to my Facebook, it's Just Shop Boutique, and you click on the bio, you will see a link through a virtual tour of the store. Now, this is very different from like online shopping. And, when I first did it, back in, I think the first time I did it was in June, I really did a lot of call outs and I spent a lot of money on like making sure that the products that they saw were on the website and they could click on it and pay for it. But the interesting thing is that nobody bought any of those things that I had highlighted. What they did was once they walked through the store, which is really interesting, they actually snapshot what they saw. And it's really funny because some of it was just like a little narrow bit of a shoulder and a print. They screenshot it and sent it to me. And when they sent it to me, they would just say like, what's the price? Can you send me another picture of this? And that's how we did a lot of sales. And it's really incredible because my website on an average month gets about 30 unique hits. With this 3D, we got over 300 unique hits, and we got an incredible increase on our online sales. But more importantly, what I discovered is that people actually did what I would call like window shopping. They went through the store, they saw what they liked, they saw that there were many things that were interesting to them, and that's what prompted them to maybe drive a little further away than they're used to in their shopping patterns, but to come to our store and to experience it for the first time. And you know, it's interesting because how do you judge these matrices, or how do you like judge that they were actually window shopping? And I'll tell you what, when people came into the store, they beelined right for what they were looking for. And in a couple of occasions, because we sell through the store and we move the store around quite a bit, people were like, well, I thought that this was here. So you know that they had window shopped on the 3D tour before they got to my shop. So I feel like having all of these different ways of communication, having them be able to text you, which is incredibly important. We've talked about this in the past. If you still have a landline in your store, it is so important that you change to a cell phone, because we're finding that all of these virtual shopping, these video conferences, this video chat, and you know what's really interesting to me? It's always a customer that said they don't want to give me their email because they get too many emails, that then text me a picture of something that they saw on Facebook or on Instagram. And now to me, having their personal cell phone is much more intimate than having their email. So the way that we're doing business and the way that we communicate with our customers has really changed, and it's not going to go away. So I want to stress again that all the things that you've been doing, the curbside, the personal shopping hours, the limited amount of people in your store, the steaming of the clothes and sanitizing after people have tried it on, it's so important that people feel comfortable. Having extended return policies, especially over the holidays. And I know for a fact that this is a bitter pill for most of us to take, but I promise you, a lot of people don't want to try on stuff in the store more than ever. And they also want to have the confidence that if it doesn't work out, if the present didn't work out, that they're not going to have a hard time returning it. And it comes down to math. We really feel that if you provide the right amount of customer service, that the returns are usually very few. They're usually 2 or 3%, which compared to online shopping, it's 70%. And compared to department stores, it's more like 22%. So we're in that low percentage rate, which I know we all have a story about somebody that returned something that wasn't justified. I always love the story about how they say that they didn't wear it, and then you can find like 100 pictures of them wearing it on Facebook. These things are going to happen, but do not punish the good customers, the ones that want to shop with you, because of a few bad apples. So really consider your policies and be very flexible about them. And don't just give a store credit, give them a full refund. And, it's really interesting because when I started to do this with myself, I did see an increase of returns, which is kind of startling at first. But then when I actually looked at the conversion, yes, they returned something. But most of the times, I would say 90% of the times, they ended up buying something else. So just to quickly recap, Christmas is going to be incredible. You are going to be scared to death right around the election times. This is normal. This is actually a little bit more exaggerated because of the times that we're living in with the pandemic. You are going to see a lot of people really, really frightened with the pandemic. So it is important that you get these Google reviews out there, Facebook reviews, whatever kind of reviews you find that your customer looks at. I personally hate Yelp, but that's a whole different story. I don't want you to go and just discount. I don't think it's going to be necessary. I think that people are going to look more for the value in customer service and merchandise assortment. So it is important to think about those categories that people might have been asking you about, but you haven't really made the commitment to buy. This is really the time to try new products, even if it's just like plus sizes or petites or something, that you usually don't carry. And I'll tell you another product category that I think is really important in taking off. It's activewear, but not just activewear like leggings and bra tops. I mean like home home gym. People are working out at home and they might be on a Zoom class. So they want to look the part. They want to look fresh and modern, and they don't want to be in their old holy, sweatpants. So give them that opportunity to have that too. So a real kind of full, curated boutique. I almost dare say almost like a family department store where you have a small section of men, a small section of kids, and of course your apparel that you have now. Or if you're a men's store, carrying some women's and some children's too. A lot of daddy and son kind of outfits are going to be really important, and gift items that you might be out of your scope of range. And hire the extra personnel because you are going to be busy. I promise you it is going to be an incredible holiday. Just don't panic, the next couple of weeks, and everything will be fine. I hope to see you doing January and February market. You could always reach me through Instagram, Mercedes GPC, through Facebook, or directly through my email. I wish you all an incredible, joyful, healthy holiday season, and I'll see you next year.